there now, go and cooperate with the Speaker, other members of the House of Assembly of Kogi State, and be part of those that will support Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo. Are you getting my point? In everything that comes to the assembly, everything. Even if you don't understand.
Barrister, I don't know if you have watched that video.
I did.
You did?
With
Okay.
much annoyance.
Yeah, all right. Before the viewers, if you are, I think I've said it before. Most of the things, the topic we discuss here, honestly, I don't send them to Barrister Manta. I don't know, for whatever reason, the man is just a genius. So many of the topics we discuss here is just completely ignorant of them. But again, for those of you who have been following us, you see how articulate he has always been. You just can't take him unawares. He's so knowledgeable in virtually everything. So, Barrister, yes, you've watched that. Honestly, when I watched that, actually, I cringed. I don't understand. That for those of you who didn't understand that video, that was former immediate past Kogi State Governor Bello Yahaya giving directives. You saw clearly those people sitting on the floor were actually House of Assembly members, honorable. They call them the so-called honorable members. They were actually compelled to sit on the ground, on the floor, before the ex-governor, not even the serving governor. In the first place, they were not even supposed to do that before any human being, not even the president, not to talk of an ex-governor. For God's sake, the ex-governor directly giving them instruction, that is coercing them to just cooperate with the sitting governor on everything without asking questions. Nothing. They just cannot, according to him, they cannot oppose the governor in anything, any form or shape. Nothing. Even if they decide, even if they don't understand, including what they don't understand, don't ask questions. Just append your signature. That is it. Barrister.
It's anytime I see something like this, it really makes me mad. When I watched the video, I was really angry. I was embarrassed. But then again, you see that is what is prevailing under this so-called democracy. For God's sake, these are supposed to be honorable members of the House of Assembly that are to act as check and balances on the executive. Now you see a former governor who is no longer serving,
honestly,
treating them like children, telling them what to go and do, never to oppose the governor in the House. What then is the use of the separation of powers? What then is the use of the House of Assembly? If there can be no disagreement between the House and the governor, then what is the use of the House? If they are not going to act as check and balance on the power of the executive, then what is their use? So, but this is the politics in Nigeria. This is what we do. These people are not going there for the benefit or welfare of the Nigerian or the state, the citizens of Kogi State, and by extension, other states in Nigeria. Same with the National Assembly. They are going there for their personal aggrandizement, personal needs. And that is where, if you oppose the sitting governor, who happens to be a godson of the former governor, then you are not going to get anything in the House.
Well,
that
Barrister,
is why.
Let me ask you, do you really blame the governor or the ex-governor? Who are we supposed to blame here? No, let me tell you, because my problem is, now, I don't know, we Nigerians, we have a kind of slave mentality. I don't get it. This issue of food on the table has actually made us to be, when it comes to standing up for what we ought to do or for our rights, this food on the table, or the problem is not even food on the table. An average Nigerian, most of these politicians, what they want to do, they want to live above. They just want to live an ostentatious life. They want to live a luxurious life. They want to fly a private jet if possible. That's the problem. So that discontentment is what is driving all this. As a result of that, they have the crave for material gains, for material things. So because of that, they want to make that exactly is what actually that gives us that slave mentality, because at all costs, at any cost, and all costs, we want to do anything we can to actually live that lifestyle that we crave. That is a problem. Because honestly, I do not blame the governor, neither the governor or the whatever. Because look, if the people, just like you said earlier, our leaders are from us. They are part of us. We elect leaders based on our dispositions, and that is just it. So the Yahaya Bello is doing what he's doing because the State of Assembly, they have given him that signal that they can be slaves to him. They have given him that both psychologically and even in words, that we can do anything for you and anything for you, and that is it. That is just the reality.
See, the problem, part of the problem is the system. Come back to the system again. Now you have a system where, on paper or in theory, there is separation of powers between the executive and the legislature and the judiciary. But in actual and real terms, the power is held by the executive. The power over finances, over release of finances, is held by the executive. The power to give tickets for members to come back to the house or even to contest is virtually in the hands of the governor.
No, hold on, Barrister. One constitutionally is like that. That's the constitution gives them. But the second one you just mentioned, it's illegal now. So it depends on the.
I told you in theory, on the books, this is how it is beautiful. There is separation of powers. They are co-equal branches of government. But in practice, because the sole control over money is in the hands of the executive, the hands of the governor, and then another aspect of it.
Not totally, Barrister. Sorry, not totally. You and I know that, yes, they control the pulse, the executive control the pulse, but again, the House of Assembly or the National Assembly, as the case may be, they are the ones who dictate what can be spent and how money can be disbursed. So they make this. They are equal partners. They should be equal partners. So let me tell you one thing. Now, because look, if you say you are not going to release money or whatever, then when it comes to budget or whatever, then we will stall everything. Everyone has its own power, but they can actually exert their power.
They have that power. Now, the State House of Assembly or the National Assembly makes the budget, approves the budget, yes, including what should come to them.
Yes.
But the person that releases the money is the executive, the governor.
Yes.
The governor signs release warrants. So at the end of the day, the governor signs release warrants. And secondly, and most importantly, the perquisites of office, the largesses that these members get, most of it are not within the budgetary allocation that is made. I recently, if you look at Benue State, the governor dissolved the cabinet and sent a list of new commissioners to the House. The House said, look, we are not going to screen your commissioners until you give us our jeeps, our vehicles.
Honestly, that's crazy.
So they refused to, they held the list and refused to screen them until the governor was forced to give them the vehicles. Then they proceeded to screen the vehicles. At the end of it, what I'm saying is that these people are not going there for the welfare of the people, but for their personal benefits. So when that comes in, what do we get? There are a lot of other things that the governors use money that is not even appropriated to get them to get personal benefits from. And then you come to the at the party level. The governor is the leader of the party in the state. And he controls the party by virtue of controlling the finance of the state. Yeah. So at the end of the day, if you oppose the governor, when re-election comes, you will not get the ticket. It's as simple as that. The governor will make sure that you do not get the party ticket to contest the election. And in most cases, when the party dominates the state, if you don't get the ticket, it means you are not coming back to the house. So while on paper we have a good system, in practice, there are hiccups here and there that make the governor far more than, not equal with the other branches of government by any stretch of imagination. So the governors and the executive use those powers to intimidate and keep these people in bondage. They pocket them and render useless the concept of separation of powers, the concept of check and balances against each other.